Hello, good evening from here. You're welcome to Opinion Sharers once again. My name is Paul. And so, yet again, we're going to be having an informal session where we're going to be looking at some of the happenings in Nigeria. And my guest can also raise different issues as they might want to raise opinions concerning them. So please do join us and do share the link. It's very important that we share the link. So if you can grab the link now, I beg you that you share it. I'm also going to do the same thing before I come back to the guests to introduce themselves briefly. And then we go into the discussion looking at what is happening in Nigeria now, you know, and then it's mainly about hearing of opinions, people having to share their opinion. And I think that's what opinion sharers is mainly about. It's like we are holding the microphone so that people who wants to share opinion can have their say, they can have themselves heard. That's the one of the major duties that opinion sharers is hoping to fulfill. And I think we are doing at least the barest minimum in terms of doing that. So please do share. I will quickly go share now. So I've seen that the village boy has shared it, so I'm going to just go to his graph, to his wall and share it from there. Okay, now I've done that. Tosin, have you shared? Okay, you're welcome back. And let's quickly introduce ourselves. I know it's going to take just a few seconds to do so. Village boy.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here again. I am the village boy.
Okay, thank you very much. Tosin.
Hi, friends. Welcome to another show today. I'm Citizen Oluwatosin.
Okay, you're welcome. There are so many things that is happening in Nigeria right now, and not only in Nigeria, across the world, but we are going to be talking mainly about things that are happening in Nigeria or that concerns Nigerians, whether at home or abroad, because we are going to be talking about a particular issue that concerns some of us here, and that is the relationship between the UAE government and Nigeria as it's affecting and impacting people like me and Tosin. Um, if in case you are not aware, Nigerians in UAE have not been able to process work permits the last, some months back. Tosin, I think Tosin knows more about it. You want to share with us what you think is happening in that? Maybe we start the discussion from there, and then we'll move to other things.
Yes,
Just give us briefly what is happening and what, yeah, just what is happening. Go ahead, please.
yeah, to what happened is after the COVID lockdown 2020, Nigeria was one of the first country that UAE opened up to come into the country, even because the cases we have in Nigeria is not that too much. Now, after the lockdown, flight began to come in. Now the UAE discovered that people are coming in with from Nigeria with COVID test certificates that are not authentic. So now they introduce a method to, in order to protect their own country from external invasion of people that are carrying the virus. So they introduce a 4 hours test in the airport before you board the plane. So they started that already in Nigeria. They started that for some days or weeks already in Nigeria. Then when the Nigerian government got to know about this, they stopped them. They said because that will means people will do a COVID test, a PCR test outside. Then when they will come to the airport earlier. They will come to the airport earlier to do another test 4 hours before their flight. And when they get to UAE, when they get to Dubai, when they land here, they will do another test, making it three. So Nigerian government described that as discriminating. If we say Nigerian government, maybe we are generalizing. We are Adi Sidika, the Minister of Aviation, said that is discriminating against Nigerians. So for this reason, they ban Emirates Airline. Now, after banning Emirates Airline, Emirates also banned flights and people coming from Nigeria. If you have been to Nigeria or passed through Nigeria in the last 14 days, you cannot come to UAE. That was the law then. That was the protocol then. So this continue. I believe the two governments were engaging themselves and talking about it, but probably they could not find a common ground. So the ban continues, and the ban started February 2021. February 2021. Since February 2021, there's no flight, whether direct. There's connecting flights now, but there's no direct flight between Nigeria and UAE. And Emirates itself is banned, Etihad is banned. And that is when the predicament of Nigerians in UAE started. Uh, Before going forward, I must state clearly that the predicament that is befalling Nigerians in the UAE and the suffering they're passing through because of the series of ban on us here, the UAE government don't have hand in it. It is the Nigerian government that are deliberately punishing Nigerians in UAE. And as the show continues tonight, I can explain and expatiate on that. So, because of this flight ban, the UAE government are putting some things in place because these are diplomatic issue, and when such diplomatic issue happen between two countries, it is expected that the other country will try to frustrate the citizen of the other country in their country so that their country in can come to terms with them. So I believe that is what the UAE are doing. They are playing their game well. It is up to Nigerian government to show that the cities are citizens, that we really mean something to them. Because before now, we have engaged even Nigerian governments, top officials of Nigerian government. We have engaged them. Some 2 weeks ago, they said in the newspaper, the Sun newspaper, the Minister of Foreign Affairs said in the Sun newspaper that they are not aware of the situation. Foreign Affairs Ministry are not aware that flight ban between Nigeria and UAE has been on for more than 8 months. They are not aware that Nigerians in UAE are losing their job as of 2 weeks ago in data collation. More than 700 people have lost their job already. Whether they cannot get new permits, they have been working and change their job, they cannot get new permit, work permit, or they are just coming newly and find a job and they cannot get new permit. According to an interview I granted Vanguard newspaper some days ago, I said it there that this is surprising. I've been around more than 7 years now. And this is surprising. This is the first time I'm getting to know that Nigerians are getting job in their good numbers. Before, people used to say, Koshishan Dubai, there's no job here. But now people are getting jobs in their hundreds and their company ready to make visa for them. But because of the work permit ban, they cannot make visa for them. This is disheartening. People are passing through a lot here. People are passing through a lot. It's a difficult time for Nigerians living in UAE. I posted that some days ago on Facebook. If you know people that are working in UAE, Nigerians that are working in UAE, you have them as friends, check on them. It's a difficult time for them because even those that are not yet affected, it will soon get to them because of the incompetency and the nonchalant attitude of Nigerian government to engage, to have a good international relationship with other country. This is really affecting a whole lot of people. Daily, people are losing their job now. Daily, and till now, the Nigerian government, some 2 weeks ago, earlier this month, the first week of this month, we had meetings with them at the Nigeria consulate in Dubai. Now, what they said is it is because of Nigerians are fighting here. Some are engaging in cultism and they are fighting, they are attacking themselves. But I let the madam know that that is just finding excuse because uh, in the UAE is one of the most secured country in the world. For since 2017, for 4 consecutive years, we are top four, and this year we are number four of world most secured country, the best country to stay and do business in the world. So security is very effective here. Some 2018, some guys come to attack exchange. They were able to go away with 8 million dirham, but uh, 10 minutes, within 10 minutes, they were able to get them. And all of them face the law. The good thing about this country is you cannot commit crime here and go scot free. And according to the database of Dubai police, every Nigerians that have been engaged in crime, they are usually on visit visa. So if it is because of crime that we are having this problem, the UAE will only ban visit visa and not resident visa, not work permit. Because for a
Tosin,
country, if yeah,
let me just pause you a little bit and let me ask Village Boy to share his experience in terms of traveling abroad and intergovernmental relationship. Because I've read about some Nigerian official. I read on Guardian News that they were saying that because some Nigerians are misbehaving and all, and sincerely, I disagree too. But what's your opinion? You've heard it from him. I'll go back to Tosin.
Yes, I've heard him, and I must also commend what they are doing in terms of engaging the consular officials right there in Dubai. Um, but again, what they call the diplomacy, I would say, is actually language of deceit. So you hardly hear the real truth, from most of these guys. Um, it is good that all those information was passing on that okay, there are data to prove his comment and all that. So a government that is sensitive, that is responsive to our citizens, wherever they will be found, will not fold its arm and allow what is happening to happen to our citizens. But we don't have a good record of where Nigeria government, at any point in time, not just now, have stood for our citizens that are outside the shore of Nigeria. It is a very sad reality that we have to live with. So if you are a Nigerian and you don't have that citizenship anywhere in the world, you are basically on your own. And we have had a few cases. For instance, here in Canada, I can say that the current High Commissioner to Canada, Nigeria High Commissioner, is one person that has revolutionized a lot of engagement. You know, he's doing a lot of good job, because no issue that has brought to his attention or the attention of the consulate that they have not find solution around about. So I think it's unimaginable that the consular service in Dubai will be claiming that it's because of courtesim. And it speaks my imagination. You mean Nigerians carry courtesim to Dubai again? So I'm hearing that for the first time. And if they do that, then that is very unreasonable on them too. So if a minister of aviation or ban flights and the minister of external affairs say they are not aware, that shows one thing: there is lack of coordination among government, uh, departments, ministry, and officials. But is that surprising? I would say it's not too surprising, because most of them people, everybody work in silos, which means they don't relate very well with themselves. So it is a very sad situation. And apart from what Tosin has said this quite very loudly. He has been emphasizing this, I know, for some weeks now. We also have had opportunity to engage some other people who live there, and to corroborate his story. I think the Nigerian government are not sufficiently responsive to the situation, and that has been a kind of uh, a standard of Nigerian government. So one is not too surprising, though it is sad, but we have to own the reality that you know, the moment you step your feet outside Nigeria, nobody, no government doesn't care for what happened to you. No government officials care what happened to you. So they rather want to even rubbish you. They want to tell you that why did you leave Nigeria? That you left Nigeria because you are a failure. They will tell you that you left Nigeria because you cannot succeed in Nigeria. Whereas the Nigerian government, they don't accept responsibility. They don't accept responsibility.
Yeah, it's
They don't.
unfortunate because many people of my generation, I believe that the government does not care about us, whether you are home or abroad. Okay, we've discussed it on this platform that the Nigerian government, people of my age, 40, 41, most of us have never really enjoyed anything from the Nigerian government. Some people have to borrow money to travel abroad. That's just the plain truth, and I don't know how else to say it. Some people would sell land. Some people would sell properties, including cars. Some people would take loan to travel abroad. And the reason why, the reason the country such as UAE is attractive is because it is easy for you to get a job when you're coming from Nigeria. I think it's one of the most easiest countries to get a job, where you don't have to pass through a lot of hurdles in terms of licensing and all of those things, you know. But then for this to happen, somebody very close to me sent me a voice message of a lady whom I know in Abu Dhabi. We lived together before I came to India. And then she sent a message that two of them were working in a school, in a nursery school, one of the world class schools in Abu Dhabi. Two of them, they told them, submit the laptop in your care and other school materials because we cannot renew your contract. Okay, so now if you let's do a little bit of analysis so that people would understand. So an average of these people will earn like 3,500 to 4,000 or 6,000 dirhams. So somebody that is earning 3,000 dirhams in the UAE, when you convert that money to Nigeria money, Tosin, can you give me an idea of how much that will be in naira? What is the exchange rate now? I want us to do it so that people who are viewing this would truly understand the implication of it. What?
4,000 in naira, it will be 640,000 naira.
Okay, so these are people, if they were working in Nigeria as a teacher, they probably would not earn more than 50,000 naira or maybe maximum 100,000 naira. So such people are earning 600,000. You know what, people, those of us who have lived in the UAE, majority of us, except maybe people who are working in oil company, who are working in hospitals as professionals like doctor or nurses, those are the ones that live large. But every other person, they make their money, they take maybe 500 dirham, pay their rent, and the rest, you know what they do? They send it back home. They send it. I mean, like 90% of whatever they earn, they send it back to Nigeria, whether through illegal or illegal means. But the truth is that they send that money back to Nigeria. So the implication of this is that you have caught not only the source of those people that are living in the UAE working and earning legitimately, you have also caught the source and means of the people or businesses that they are affecting and investing in back in Nigeria. I think it is important for us to make these distinctions, and so that people will understand what it means. We don't have values when you are in Nigeria. I was just scrolling through Twitter some few minutes ago, and I saw where whether a military man or policeman was flogging a university student, literally flogging an adult on the street. This is 2021. So an average Nigerian does not have respect back at home. You don't have much value. When you are traveling to airport in Nigeria and you have the white, green, the green passport in your hand, you know what you see, regardless of what country you're traveling in. People that you are far, far wiser than, people that you are more intelligent than, they immediately begin to suspect you. And I think it's not just because of Nigerians, mainly because of our government. The kind of crimes that people are committing, even in developing countries, in developed countries, we don't have such even in Nigeria. Apart from when you talk about core hard terrorism, So these are the implications. One guy told me he got hanged, in Nigeria when he went home before the COVID. Eventually, when he came back to UAE after 6 months, so I'm telling you that person that got hanged in Nigeria for 6 months had no income at all for that period. So he had to go through Benin Republic, and I don't know what happened there. He spent all his money again, had to send message home and borrowed money. Eventually entered Dubai. When he got to Dubai, his job was already cancelled. He secured another job for 6,000 dirhams. 6,000 dirham will be close to, getting close to 1 million naira, or maybe around 800,000 naira in a month. Okay, that kind of person cannot earn 25% of that if he works in Nigeria. He had to, but because the government said, unfortunately, we cannot do visa for you, so we have to let you go. I don't know how he managed to go and do free trade zone, or what. Tosin, what kind of visa do you call it? Is it free trade zone? That's the kind of visa that eventually went to do to be able to secure that the job. So this is the implication of it. Tosin, you want to say a few things about it before we move to other subjects?
Yes, I want to say that Nigerian government should be responsible to our responsibilities. People that are working legitimately are the ones that have been affected now, not even the street guys, not those that are undocumented. That those that have traveled here. Some of them also, they have come with borrowed money because situation in Nigeria is not good now. Some of them have come with borrowed money, passed through Benin Republic, spent twice, then gets here, money to get a job. But now they find a job, but to make visa for them is impossible. We are pleading, I've asked some of the affected guys to join the show and to make comments of their experience and what they are passing through. A lot of people cannot pay their house rent again. Even me, I'm affected. I'm being affected seriously. So Nigerian government should do something as a matter of urgency. People cannot continue to be losing their job. You cannot provide job for your citizens. They have to travel abroad to get job for themselves. They travel abroad to get job for themselves, but your bad policy and your incompetency, nepotism, and nonchalant attitude is still affecting people, your citizens in other country, because you have poor international relationship. We are calling on the Minister of Aviation, Adi Sidika. Adi Sidika does not have the power to decide for 200 million Nigeria. He should lift the ban on Emirates Airline. If UAE government say that Nigerian citizens or people flying from Nigeria should make 5 PCR tests before they come to their country, they have a right to it because they want to protect their own people. It is Nigerian government that do not know how to protect Nigerians, both home and abroad. When COVID started newly, everybody was calling on Nigerian government to stop flights from countries that were affected and have high cases. Countries like Brazil, UK, and China. But Nigerian government refused until an Italian guy brought that virus to Nigeria. But these people, they know how to protect their own people. And they said you have to run tests, 3 of them before you come in. Now, it is surprising that the same test they gave to Nigerians and Nigerian government reject. This is the same thing other countries have welcomed now, and all other countries can fly to UAE except Nigeria. So for this long, for this 8 months, what is Adi Sidika, the Minister of Aviation, what is he doing? The Minister of Foreign Affairs, what are they doing? The lady that says she's the one, Abike Dabiri, that says she's the one in charge of Nigerian diaspora and they are galvanizing themselves up and down. What are they doing regarding this situation? They know many people are here losing their job. Whenever the pressmen interview them, the only thing they will be saying is they will just be finding one excuse or the other. And people should behave themselves. People should do this. They know the problem. They should solve the problem. People cannot be here losing their job and their family back at home, and even them here, they cannot pay their house rent. Their family back at home that depend on them, they cannot send money to those people. They should end this issue as a matter of urgency. People are losing their job in their 100 daily, and this must stop. We are not pleading to them. I'm not pleading to them. This is their job and their responsibility. This is why they are appointed as minister, or this is why the president is voted into office. If he's not capable of handling the position, they should leave the position and let somebody that is competent come there and fix the country. Enough of rubbish they are doing in the country. The country is in shambles and people are traveling out of the country to find a way to live a good life. Still, before I used to think bad governance in Nigeria can only affect Nigeria back home. But now we can see that bad governance in Nigeria is even affecting Nigeria abroad. So they should sit up and talk. They should sit up and dialogue with their UAE counterpart and see that a end comes to this flight ban and work permit ban. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. I want to briefly say a few things about how poor governance, affect Nigerians abroad. And I am sure that many of us who are watching this, we have about 67 people viewing us now. Many of these people are probably abroad and they must have experienced one of these things that I'm about to say. One day I was traveling from New Delhi to Abu Dhabi. So as I flew in, I was stopped at the airport, and they told me that according to the Nigerian government, that all Nigerians that are coming into UAE ought to first of all go to Abuja. Okay, go to Abuja and get one clearance. I said, what kind of clearance would that be? I don't live in Nigeria, for instance. I've not lived in Nigeria in the last 8 years or thereabout. So how do you now expect me to first go? How do they expect me to go to Abuja first of all when I'm traveling from, I travel from the UAE to India. From India, I'm going back on holiday. And I was there for about almost 1 hour. My wife was there, but they were very friendly. They were professionals. They listened to me. I told them my stories. They were saying, "Oh, they are proud of Nigerians that they didn't even know that." Some of these things they don't know about Nigerian. I've newly just written my book. Then, in fact, they took one of my book. They said they will put this one in their office. Those policemen. So eventually they were calling. They say I should call Abuja, call their office, and all of those. People don't know when we have bad government. Okay, when we have poor governance, it affects you wherever you go in the world, and that's probably what is happening now, and it's painful. Okay, it's very painful because people's life are at stake. Village boy, you want to talk about the principle of reciprocity when it comes to intergovernmental relationship, please.
Yes, it's one of the fundamental principles in international diplomacy. I remember, if you recollect, a lot of things has happened because of this COVID. Um, I remember it also affected KLM. But the initial thing was all European flights, no, they banned Nigerian flights coming to Europe, and they have to ban KLM. And KLM, is one of the most. If you have ever passed through um, Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam, you will know that every day they carry people in their numbers to Nigeria. So that time they had to quickly make an arrangement with Delta Airline, so that Delta flying from US will stop at Amsterdam and pick KLM passengers that were stranded then, and bring them to Lagos or to Abuja. So, but I think that one has been resolved now. So the though in that one it was the European airline that caused that, because they started banning our flight coming from Nigeria. So they banned theirs too. Now the issue here, in terms of reciprocity, want to be very sincere about it. The onus is on us in Nigeria to put our house in order. If people are getting fake COVID results, which we know it is possible, because with our officials, we know this, that with money changing hands, you can even get anything for somebody that is never born. We know this. A dead man can get we are still battling with ghost worker and everything. A dead man, somebody who died 40 years ago, can get COVID results today. We know these things, unless we want to deceive ourselves. So if the major issue is fake COVID results, because the Nigerian government should know that the world has moved beyond certain things. No, it's not every country that you can be doing Oluwole. You know what is Oluwole? I believe you know what Oluwole means. So you could be doing Oluwole or Toronto certificate for every people. So that is the issue that the government should address first. If we put our house in order and we say those who are bringing COVID results from Nigeria, we can vouch for their authenticity. So in that case, any government that rejects COVID results coming from Nigeria, the principle of reciprocity now will be that, okay, we are going to retaliate, like Idi Amin will say, because they have disrespected our system. That is how it should work. But where we know, or we don't, but though we don't want to admit that the fault is basically us, because if people can walk into the airport without doing any test and get COVID results, they become dangerous to other people of the world. So what if they are asymptomatic? But what if they have the disease in them? They don't know. They are not showing any sign, but they have it. So they become carriers. So when they go to a new environment, they distribute freely. So and it is a health issue. It's like you are putting these people in other people, innocent people, in jeopardy. So that will not be fair to innocent people. So first we should do, even when we talk about reciprocity, is for Nigeria government to put our house in order, to caution those officials to ensure that when you are issuing COVID result, make sure it is a genuine COVID result. I was in South Africa last year. I did my COVID test here. I got a result. When it was about for me to a time for me to leave, I had to do another COVID test in South Africa. I got my result. So when you go through that process, the other government has no. If the other government want to now be mischievous and say we are rejecting tests coming from your country, you can now retaliate in whatever ways you think you deem appropriate. But when what you have done is affecting your citizen, the next thing you do is to come to the round table with their host government. But now if the Nigerian government begin to deny that nothing is happening, if they begin to justify the suffering of innocent people that because they were doing courtesy, which is a very easy and lame excuse for people, is everybody who are losing job, are they all courtists? So are they saying every Nigerian that is living in Dubai now are courtists? So that doesn't make sense. So if they think that UAE has not treated them fairly, they should make their case and they should justify their case. Are there fake COVID results coming out of Nigeria? All of us sitting on this panel today know that it is not an impossibility. I've had people travel home who said they collected money from them. They didn't do any test, but they give them certificates. A lot of people have reported, have written about this on Facebook. It is an open secret that with your money, you can get anything in Nigeria. So we first should put our house in order. So maybe what I will also advise those in our guide, they should maybe write a very seriously worded petition, maybe send it through Abike. Abike, we know, is somebody, he has a pedigree to truly intervene in matters like this. So I think we should find a way of reaching out to her one-on-one to let her know this other side of the story. Yes, the government officials in Dubai might be, I'm twisting something because they don't want to present themselves as inefficient too. So they will make excuse to, of course, in support of what government in Nigeria is doing. But the principal issue here is like, are there fake COVID reports being issued in Nigeria? That is what we have to establish first. If that is, and don't forget that banning Emirates from Nigeria, Emirates makes a huge of money flying that route. They don't just carry people from Nigeria to Dubai. They carry people from Nigeria to London. And you know, London is our second home. They carry people from from Lagos, Abuja to US. You can imagine the magnitude of money they are losing. And of course, when it comes to economic interest, like they will say Yoruba, Arama Akanwa. So Emirates can influence. That is one area that I disagree that you cannot blame UAE government. The truth is that Emirates would have influenced UAE government to take some of these decisions because their economic interest has been jeopardized and they will retaliate. So when you are riding on a high horse and you know that your citizens are badly affected, a responsive, not only responsible now, a responsive government who is alive to their responsibility will come to the round table, will come to dialogue and reverse some decisions. It is not a sign of weakness to revise decisions that you have made that turn out to be negatively affecting your citizens in another country. It is even a sign of it's a strength that okay, because of the suffering of my people in UAE, I have decided to leave this ban. Because now Emirates will survive. Emirates will come for that route. But most of these people, most of these innocent people, may not have other means of survival. Of course, you guys have talked about how many of them got to UAE, borrowed fund, and many people came there because of frustration back at home. There are no jobs at home. And the president has, I just watched a clip yesterday where the president was saying there is no vacancies in federal government, no vacancies in state government, no vacancies even in local government. The president himself said it. So now we have what we call international mobility of labor because of globalization. But then where you come from still matters. If these are people are suffering this toward discrimination and pain, I think it is the responsibility of government to look. I've always advocated for a reversal of policy. If a policy is not serving a useful purpose, you sit down and you reverse it. That doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you a bad person. Okay, I mean, you can make a policy in error because you are human. And it is nothing to be ashamed of that, okay, oh, I made a mistake. I overreacted. Because of this, I will correct it. Now, the issue between them and KLM has been resolved. KLM can now fly directly to Lagos, to Abuja, like before. It makes life easy for everybody from any part of the world who want to fly KLM. So why can't government see that, okay, Emirates, and Emirates is even cheaper than KLM and all those ones. Because of our citizen sovereign, let us talk. We didn't like this idea of what you did for us. You would have complained to us officially, then we would have known how to resolve it. But again, like I said, let Nigerian government put their house in order. Because if it can be established that nobody has left Lagos or Abuja with fake COVID results, then their action is justified. But even at that, if that action is bringing unforeseen consequences on their citizens living in UAE, the reasonable thing to do is to say, okay, eat the humble pie and reverse that policy for the sake of your citizens. So you are not doing too much to safeguard the livelihood of your citizens, irrespective of the country of their sojourn. They are primarily your citizens, and those in government who should understand this principle. That is why they call them civil servants, to serve the interests of the people. So I don't think somebody is calling Abike a wicked woman. I don't think I will
Yeah,
subscribe to that.
has Abike been informed? Tosin, has Abike Dabiri said anything about it?
Abike Dabiri has been informed. Uh, there's some group also that is communicating the office of Abike Dabiri. They are all trying to be diplomatic about this issue. Everybody, Nigerian things, everybody is hiding their face. Every one of them are hiding their face and just trying to downplay what Abike actually is doing. Abike Dabiri is doing is to downplay the effect, the issue. Like some time ago, they have said that even renewal is going, that people, why are we saying that work permit is not going, that work permit is going? We have people that are affected. We have their database. People that have been affected, we can see the comment here. If you go through the comments, so this much people are only the people. Now, let's bear it in mind that these are the people that even have the boldness to come out to talk, or that knows about this show is going on. A whole lot of people have been affected. They are not on this show now. They don't even know this show is going on. So Abike Dabiri has been informed, they knows about this issue. They are trying, our office are downplaying this issue. Probably they don't have the, she doesn't have the capacity to make decision on this matter. That is why I've said that the Minister of Aviation, Adi Sidika, he was the one that banned Emirates Airline. Please let us understand that this issue happened also last year when Adi Sidika banned Emirates Airline. And immediately he lifted the ban on Emirates Airline, work permit was issued again. That lasted for only 1 month. But this is 4 months already on this this new one we have now. 4 months already. A lot of people lost their job. Abike Dabiri knows about it. She knows about it. Our office has been duly communicated, but probably she doesn't have the capacity to deal with the situation.
Man, this is just this is touching for me. It's really touching, and I'm kind of heartbroken because I know what people go through. Well, many people that go to, I mean, 80% of Nigerians who are working in the UAE are just normal hustling people. They are not people that are. It's just about maybe 10% or 5% of Nigerians working in UAE that are living comfortably. Okay, so these people earn this money and send it back to Nigeria, and you cannot overemphasize the importance of that. And I don't think any government that is serious, should overlook the importance of it. Now, let me have something occurred to me as the village boy was talking earlier, and I want to talk about this. And that is how important the airlines are to the UAE. That is Emirates Airline and Etihad. It's like somebody removing your source of income. We can oil is no longer in fact, oil is no longer listed as one of the source of income for Abu Dhabi, I mean for Dubai anymore. So it is majorly tourism now. And then you now say you ban the flight, you ban Emirates Airline from Nigeria. Okay, and what is the population of Nigeria compared to other African countries? So when you look at, I just Google it now, population, top 10 African population, Nigeria is 200 something million. The next one is Ethiopia. Ethiopia is 112. Now, we are almost half of their population. These are countries that are the rate of poverty are very high. How many Ethiopians can travel? How many Ethiopians are in the UAE? How many Ethiopians are in UK or in the US or in Europe, where Emirates can connect them from Nigeria to the different other countries? So Emirates is a major source of income for the UAE. Etihad is the same thing. These are world-class airlines. These are airlines that win the best of the world airlines, and you now say you ban them. I mean, we might want to say, okay, me, Agidi, Nigeria, Agidi, I be big man in my office. I can ban these people. And then you may say it doesn't concern you because they don't fly. Many of them don't fly public airline. It's an average big man in Nigeria can afford to hire a private jet to travel around the world if they don't have their own personal plane. But what about other Nigerians? What about other Nigerians who can't even, some of them can't even afford the Emirates Airline. But because Emirates Airline is going to Nigeria, it gives them opportunity to do some other small businesses and fly with the small, cheap airlines, and they're able to earn their income. Imagine if a 40-year-old man is earning 6,000 naira in the UAE, and he sends 80% or 70% of that back home. That's a lot of money. You cannot replicate that kind of opportunity in Nigeria for them now, at least. So if these people go back home, what are you going to give them? Nothing. So it's just, I'm trying to help us to understand such that, because when I saw the news that was published by The Guardian, I saw a comment whereby somebody was saying, oh, it is because some Nigerians are being misbehaving and all of that. When I got to UAE, there were Bangladeshi that were using cutlass machete to punch pursue themselves now. And police, I know how to handle them. Yeah.
That point,
So
that point,
The UAE police is one of the most effective police. They
that's
know how
the
to
point
handle
of people
anybody. Some
misbehaving.
boys come to misbehave the other day, it was not under 24 hours they've arrested them. Go ahead, Tosin.
The point of saying it is because Nigerians are misbehaving here. That is the tactics government officials that we have engaged or that knows about this issue. That is usually their defense, that it is because Nigerians are fighting here, are doing this, are doing that. That is their defense because they lack the capacity to deal with the situation. It is not because of crime. It is if it is because of crime, UAE will stop visit visa, not resident visa. For a company to want to make work permit for an individual, the company have seen potential in such person. The company have probably interviewed the person have probably gone through series of interviews with that company and they have seen potential in them. So if it is because of crime, UAE are capable 100% to handle crime, and they are doing a very good job. This is one of the most peaceful countries in the world to live and do business and to raise kids. So it is not because of crime, but in their argument, so that they will just make the citizens look bad. That is why Nigeria government is saying it is because of crime. They should lift the ban on Emirates Airline. Nigeria is the biggest market in Africa for Emirates Airline and they are making good money in Nigeria because even Nigeria, we don't have a national air carrier. And these people are giving good service and they are making good business. So, because their business is being stopped, that is why we are having all this issue. If Adi Sidika, the Minister of Aviation, will lift the ban on Emirates Airline, most of us, majority of us, have the belief that the ban on work permit will be lifted because you cannot cripple people's business and you want your citizen to be living a good life in their country. This is how they make money. If they want to execute any project here, Expo 2020 is going on now. That site was constructed within a space of 5 years. And if you go there now, you will know this is not just a city, this is a city for the future. So these people need money to execute projects like this in their country, and they don't borrow. They don't go. I've not seen news where UAE go to borrow. They don't go to borrow. They have leaders that are able to think and to generate money. It is only Nigeria that will go to borrow whenever they need to spend, and they cannot even look inward. And the set of people that have been affected, we are talking about now, these are the people that are bringing the highest revenue into the country. People in diaspora, we are the money we are sending back home monthly and accumulatively yearly. It is more than the amount the government is getting on petroleum. But still, they cannot manage this sector effectively. It is very sad the situation we find ourselves as Nigerians, that the worst of us are the ones ruling the best of us. If you go through this comment section, you will see what people are passing through. I've seen someone saying he's staying in uncompleted building because he don't have money to pay.
Well, it's unfortunate. It's touching, and I feel it. It is well, Tosin. It I wish they understand. That's just. I wish there is a better way to say it, but it's unfortunate. We continue to appeal to them, you know. Since there's nothing we can do, we continue to appeal to them that they will do what is right, you know. A lot of people, a lot of families are dependent on them and hoping that they do what is right. Okay, so let's continue to hope. I think we should begin to round up now. Village boy, you want to say something before we go?
Yeah, like maybe the diaspora remittance to back home I think it's well documented. I think the figure is almost much more than the budget, and those are the one that are even well documented. There are also other channels that may not even be known. They may not be captured in the data. So
In fact, I
technically,
think, sorry, sir. The remittance from Nigeria to UAE, I'm sure that more than 50% of it is not documented. More than
If not
50%.
more than 90%, because of
Oh,
the
from
black
oh.
UAE
market.
from
Yeah.
UAE
From
to Nigeria,
from
UAE to
UAE to Nigeria,
so
at least more than 70% of the people that remitted Nigeria do it through back channel. So it is not documented.
so maybe, but then even that they know that there is well documentation that diaspora remittances is one of the things that is actually sustaining Nigeria economy. It is one of those things that give an average people on the street some hope to live. So the government that cannot cater to the people, and you have citizens back home by a way that are, that remember their people, and you know many of those of us that are abroad are the source of hope and joy for those at home. So it's not good enough to frustrate them. Even if we are not remitting home money home, let's say people in UAE are never remitting home, it is the responsibility of any government to be concerned about the condition of her citizens all over the world. Why would America send snipers to Niger Republic to rescue how many Americans? How many? Did they remember? They went back to rescue Niger Republic. So even during this COVID, some countries when their citizens are traveling in other country, they made the arrangement for evacuation back home to their various countries. I mean, I was almost caught up in the COVID something, but I was able to escape before the place was locked down. So I think Nigeria government cannot be said to be doing well. Uh, Maybe also, if there's also a way to appeal to UAE government through the people, the concern of those people, maybe they have to maybe find a way of appealing to the home government. So if you have gone to your consulate is not working, you go to the home government office, maybe those in charge of internal whatever ministry they call them. I don't know how they arrange their things. Make go and appeal to them that they are not the decision maker, they are not the one that banned Emirates, they are not the one that banned Etihad from flying to Nigeria, but they are the one that are suffering the consequences. You know, you have to, if you are, it seems that Nigeria government is acting deaf and dumb now, so you also have to organize yourself and appeal to the home government, since uh, you need them also. Who knows, they may be sympathetic, especially if your input is needed in the economy, because you are also contributing to the economy. You are paying tax, you are doing all that, you are paying. There's a economic chain of value that you are bringing to that country. So, and so that's another angle we should look at it. Let those people who are
The thing is
victim
that
of this.
people don't pay tax in people don't pay tax in UAE unless a commodity tax.
And
So
yeah,
you
at
make
least
your
whatever
money.
you
Yeah,
are
definitely
contributing
we
to
are
the economy one way
contributing.
or the other. You take transport, you
Definitely.
pay house rent, you do all those
Yeah.
things. You are contributing to the economy. I mean, there's a multiplier effect of whatever you are spending. So I think the
Definitely.
people should gather and go and appeal to the home government too. Let them know that this is a plight. We are working. We are law abiding. We don't know what is happening. They are no longer renew our work permit. That's another angle to look at it. Not just where this. Let's hope that Nigerian government uh, will respond. But meantime, try that one too. Yes, more, it is difficult until it is done. I know, It's a difficult to approve, but let us try that too. So especially if you are documented, if you are illegal person, don't join them. Oh. Don't go for you put yourself in trouble. If you, I think those who are even documented are affected, right? So that's what
Yes.
those who made us to understand. Those who are documented should gather themselves together and appeal to the home government. Those who are not documented, don't go. I beg, don't go and expose yourself. Uh-huh. So, I mean, we have to think creatively. We have to think outside the box. That's what I'm thinking now. So, okay, what else can we do? If Nigeria government is not responsive, it's not responsive, it's not responding the way we should. How are we
Some
that
ministry,
somebody can forward what we are talking here to the government? Let them also hear this. I mean, there are some many wonderful comments. People are saying these are evidence. These are people that who live there who are commenting here. Let government see this. So we should find a way of you know making this available too. No, we talk that behind the scene, right? Don't be scared.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I think we've done a little bit of what we can do. I wish that Nigerian government is a responsive one, such that when the citizens are in trouble, they will rise to the occasion. And I look up to that day when we have a Nigerian leader that will truly represent the interests of the common man, who will not be an elitist, that where policies will be made solely considering the average Nigerian, whether home or abroad. I look up to that day when I'll be able to, you know, be proud of my green passport. I look up to that day where if anything happens, I can be sure that if I go to the embassy, that somebody will rise up and defend me. You know, I am so much looking up to those days. I hope it is not just dream. Tosin, you want to say something before we
Uh,
go?
dream does come true too.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, definitely.
I want to say, Nigerian government, they should they should, because the only person that have a say in this issue is the Nigerian government. We have tried to engage some ministries here. We have even the police station. We have tried to engage some ministry here, but the response we keep getting is the only person that can handle this is the Nigerian government. Like we have said earlier in this show, people's economy are being affected, so they will try to protect their own part of the deal too. So Nigerian government should come to round table and withdraw whatever they are banned on Emirates airline. It is not a sign of weakness, as the village boys have rightly said, but a show of strength, so that their citizens abroad that have been affected can smile again. And I hope by this time next week we'll be coming back to the show. We'll come with good news. If not, we will continue to call them out. The Nigerian government, we know they are irresponsible. We know they lack competency, but we will keep calling them out until they are responsible to all their responsibilities.
Well, when you are
All
looking for a
right.
solution, you should be less abusive too.
We are not
Because
abusive. We are asking them of to be active to what we have called them to do. Whatever name I have called them is what they are doing. We are not scared of them. We have put them there in power. And if they are not representing us, it's our responsibility to ask them to behave well. We are not
I,
abusive. We are telling them to sit up and smell the coffee. They are sitting there and suffering. People are staying on come to their building. People cannot take care of family again. People cannot pay their students, their children's school fee again. I should not be here and be saying please. I'm not going to say please. I'm going to be the next time we'll be raining curses on them if they don't do what is expected of them,
I just pé
because
wèrè lọ́kọ
what we
ìyàwó.
are asking them to do is not a favor. What we are asking them to do is what they are being paid for. And Nigerian politicians are the highest paid in the world. So we are not pleading to them. This is a pleading we have been pleading for since 8 months now. We have been pleading with them. So if pleading will not work for 8 months, then we should try some other thing. We should abuse them. We should curse them. Maybe that will work. If pleading will not work, we have been pleading with them. For how long are we going to keep pleading with them? It is their job. They should do their job. I have my own job too, as a citizen, and I'm being responsible. I'm doing my own part of the deal. I'm a responsible citizen of Nigeria. So they should be responsible too, to the job we have given them, to the power we have given them, to the money they have been paid. If they say they are truly Megaskia or they are man of integrity or whatever they say they are. And they should think of what their legacy will be. If Buhari is more than 70 years old, he's older than me, so he will die before me. What will be his legacy? What will be his legacy? What will people say about him? Why is he crying, running for office for 4 times? Why is he running for office for 4 times if you don't have anything to offer the people? Why is he running for office? Why is he going to borrow money from the bank to buy nomination form? If you just get there and just be useless as it is now. If he's clueless about the job, why is he running for office? If he cannot do it, let people that can do it, let them come there. We have competent Nigeria that can deliver. We have them in all places, they can deliver. But because fish stink downward from the head, because the president is incompetent, that's why everybody around him, they are incompetent, because they can do anyhow and he will not fire them.
All right, you are very angry and it's understandable.
Yeah, it is understandable. And I'm sure there are so many people that Tosin is representing here tonight. And there are people who have, if you go through the comment section alone, I think you'll be depressed. Because it's easy. It is easy when somebody is in Nigeria and they say, oh, he's suffering, but then come to UAE. People have job. If they don't have job, it's okay. But people have job. Somebody is saying the job that they've been doing for 4 years. It's not difficult. It's not easy for people to maintain one job for 4 or 5, 6 years in the UAE. People move. You want to try something new. But then for somebody to have maintained that job for that number of years, it means the job is paying well. It's doing good. But because the companies, it's not like in Nigeria where everybody do whatever you like. For any company that is registered in the UAE to hire an employee, they need to log you in, and the government approve it on the system. So when the
and this
when
is
the
not the
go-
country that you can get free money. If people back at home, they can get free money. This is
that is one
everything
other
you do,
thing
you
that
have to pay for it. And nobody
when
can,
you
you
drink
cannot go to
when
the
you
street
drink
to beg.
water.
It's illegal. To go to the street to beg is illegal.
Yes, true. Unless maybe in some desert area or in some maybe during Ramadan that you should go in front of some people's house, then you will see free tap, cold water where you can take collect free water
Water.
and drink.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
ordinarily, when people want to drink water, it means they pay for it. Nothing. You cannot in Nigeria. You can be working somewhere and somebody will come to your office and they will dash you 1,000, dash you 2,000. I remember in those days now. People at a point I was working in Apapa. People will come to our office. I was working in railway. They want to buy tickets from me, okay? So because and then they will say, Oga, take this 500. The ticket itself gone at 650, okay? So they say take this 500, or they say please help me reserve 1 6 tomorrow. They give you extra money. You know, all those things doesn't happen in Nigeria. I mean, in the UAE, you can lose your job even for collecting tips if you are not supposed to.
Mhm.
So this is what is. There's no free money anywhere. And when people are not able to work, it means they don't eat, and nobody go borrow you money anyway.
Okay.
We'll be here again next week. Let's hope that things have changed. There are other things that we would have think we would discuss, but we couldn't because this is emotional for all of us. Thank you very much for joining. Please do share. Maybe somebody in government might see this, and then they will be moved, or somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So please let us share it widely. Thank you very much, and God bless you. And we hope that by the time we come here next week, that the story would have improved or changed at least. I remain Paul, and this is Opinion Sharers. Just in case you are joining us for the first time, Opinion Sharer is a platform for ordinary people like you and I to be able to hear our views, to be able to share whatever opinion we want to share regarding issues that is happening in Nigeria, Africa, or around the world. whether politics or social. We discuss all manners of things, but this is one of those ones where it is not moderated. We have a lot of non-moderated shows where we just talk about issues, and we try to make education, sensitization, we make it our core value here. And we have very brilliant guests, very brilliant people, and widely traveled people who come here to share opinion. So it doesn't matter your class. If you want to contribute on Opinion Sharer, please do reach out to us. Our email is on every of our pages, and you can even drop an inbox. We will entertain you. We'll give you a microphone to speak. Thank you very much. See you again next week.